Hello, everybody, and welcome to our 59th episode today. Wow, we're about to leave our 50s and get into our 60s pretty soon. So, next week we'll be in our 60s. And I don't mean the temperature, it is cold though. It is winter time, and we have just a couple more shows before the new year. And we're excited to have, he's a good guy, Anthony Markey. He has a show. I know a guy, and if you've seen Zoom Party, he was on it for that first run there, and amazing guy. So let me go ahead and share my screen and show you a clip from his show, and then we'll get our guest in here. All right, I hope this works. Go here and make sure the audio works. Let me share this. Okay, here we go.
Hey everyone, welcome back to I Know a Guy. I'm Anthony, and this is the podcast where connections thrive. Each episode, we spotlight inspiring entrepreneurs, professionals, and individuals doing amazing things. Together, we'll grow your circle, spark collaborations, and discover new opportunities. Today, we're meeting Lisa D. She's a CPA, MBA, and mindset coach who helps analytical professionals lead with confidence, clarity, and authenticity. After 25 years in high-pressure corporate roles, she founded Boundless Potential Coaching to help others succeed without burning out or losing themselves in the process. How are you doing today, Lisa?
I'm doing great. How are you, Anthony?
Fantastic. I can't complain. It's been a little.
Oh, right, there we go. I wanted him to say the fantastic part. Let's bring him in here. Let's go bring our friend, Anthony Markey. Welcome to the program. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, Omar. Thanks for having me.
I'm excited to have you here. You're a wonderful guy. And that's an amazing clip. You just come in strong. You come in there, ask the questions, and I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of awesome people out there doing awesome things. I'm just trying to help people meet one another. So just quick, fast, here's who they are. You should probably get to know them. So
amazing. I'm excited. We're going to talk about that show more, but this is a fun show getting to know you. And we already have some people in the audience. We have William, who is a kind of a new connection. I've had connection with him, but I've never really chatted until recently. So excited to be here. Yeah. And then he said no. Or whatever that is. Awesome. All right, then. Let's go ahead and get started here. This is our 59th episode, 13th episode for this season. And we're excited. So the first one is going to be here based on your profile. Let's go ahead, first of all, tell people where you're at. You're in Iowa, right? Iowa is that red spot there, right above, almost from Canada, in the middle there. Tell us a little bit about Iowa for people who don't know about it.
Yeah, no, right in the middle. We get all 4 seasons here, but we get them good and hard, right? So, we'll get down like during the winter into like the negative 40s with wind chill. It'll get up to about 110 with the heat index. So, we get it all. A lot of corn, a lot of livestock, a lot of pigs. But yeah, it's a great place. I grew up here in the Midwest, originally from Illinois, right across the river from Iowa. Moved here a few years ago. Same cornfield, different taxes. Moved to the Des Moines area. Now we moved a little bit further out. So a little bit more rural, small town vibes, which is exactly what I want. So
amazing. And did I pronounce your last name correctly? Is it Markey?
Yep, just Markey. Yep.
Markey. Awesome. Is it Mark and Key in it? Awesome. All right. Yeah. For people who don't know, that is Iowa right there. And then Des Moines is the capital, right? Of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How far are you from the capital? Are you
about 40 minutes. We just bought a house out here, a little town called Knoxville. If anybody out there knows anything about racing, they hold the nationals here. But we were on the edge of Des Moines, but we moved a little bit further out. So.
Oh, okay. Amazing. That's awesome. Yeah. All right. Let's get into the real questions here. Okay. So based on your profile, you talk about farmers, right? Or something. If farmers earned innovation points, every point they solve the problem in the field, what prize should they end of the season? What should they get?
Yeah, no, they should be rewarded for being innovative. Not just farmers. There's just a lot of them here, geographically where I am. So it tends to be who I help. But research and development credits are oftentimes overlooked by farmers. There's 80,000 farms here in Iowa. Less than 5% take advantage of it. Right?
80,000? Even
Yeah,
health.
they just don't know that what they're doing every year qualifies. When people think research and development, they think lab coats, beakers, pharmaceutical companies, that microscopes. But really, it's any kind of new products, new processes, new technologies, or new techniques, and that's what farmers do every day. They just look at it as their job, but they have to be innovative, right? They're constantly facing struggles. Every year's something different, and they have to be innovative. So they absolutely deserve rewarding for that.
Got you. Do you have some experience in farming yourself, or you just help farmers out, basically?
I grew up, between cornfields, right? So it's always been something that we didn't farm directly. We rented it out to, family. But yeah, always on the farms, helping, whether it be, baling hay, whether it be, helping people just around the farm in general, just like farm hands kind of work. But my first job was on a pumpkin farm, right? So we've done a lot of different things because farming and agriculture is such a big area. You have your row crop, you have your livestock, you have your types of livestock, you have your different types of agriculture, and it's all different and it's all massive. So you could spend the rest of your life learning about it and never get enough.
Amazing. Is there something unknown about farming? I mean, we always think about corn. Is there any particular vegetable or something that people don't know about farming that's something unknown that you have with your experience in that?
I don't know. Here in Iowa, it's a lot of corn, soybeans. Pumpkin farming, that was fun. A lot of times we'll go to pumpkin farms as families and stuff, and you pick out your pumpkins. A lot of that was being a 16-year-old kid riding around a tractor picking pumpkins, washing pumpkins, running around crazy in the cornfield where we were doing corn mazes, things like that. So I don't know if there's anything super outside the realm of what people know about here in Iowa, but yeah, like you could go down all the rabbit holes though. I'm by no means a farmer or an expert at all things farming, but there's always stuff there that can surprise you.
I would assume that corn is the number one export, I guess, right? If you're aware of that, or
I think we're number one in Iowa, or if not close to, for corn.
Yeah.
But we also do a lot of pork, a lot. I
Really?
think there's more hogs in Iowa than people. So.
Oh, wow, amazing. Okay, let's go on. Okay, something that a person in Iowa does that the rest of us in the world is unaware of. You mentioned farming. Is there something else that you can think of,
Yeah.
or you can tell us something? Go ahead.
Yeah, the big thing is probably we all go to gas stations to get our pizza, right?
Wow.
We have Casey's here. If you've never had Casey's pizza, I think it's the 5th largest pizza chain in the United States, and it's only located in the Midwest, and it's a gas station, right?
Oh,
So
wow. Really?
yeah, so there's Casey's Taco Pizza, which is a must try, and the Casey's breakfast pizzas are also excellent. I think Dave Portnoy, he judged our breakfast pizza, and he said it was too bacony. Which is ridiculous because you order a bacon breakfast pizza and it's too bacony. Just stop. So that's a big culture shock here.
Oh, wow. Amazing. So do they offer all kinds of toppings, or is it like
Oh yeah,
pizza, everything? And
it's
gas
any
station?
other kind of pizza stop, pizza spot, but it's out of a gas station.
Amazing. I want to say hello to Leslie Flowers, who's been one of the originals in the first season, I believe, first or second season. Thank you for being here from North Carolina. Wonderful person. Actually, part of the reason I have the name, and also a lot of things that she promotes me a lot. So amazing. So she was on Super Little, but that's interesting that you go to gas stations to get pizza. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's good stuff. People, they always knock it like, oh, you're gonna go to a gas station. It's great. You gotta try it.
But I'm sure they have Pizza Hut and they have all the.
Oh yeah, I mean that's everywhere though,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Our claim to fame is the Casey's gas station pizza.
Well, I will definitely, if I'm ever in that area. I had a friend who was there. I was going to visit him, but he moved to another state. And he moved actually south. What is south of your state? I think Missouri, right? He's in Missouri now. So he went to Arizona, where he was in Iowa for a little bit. They bought a house, and then something happened. They went overseas. They came back to Arizona for a year or two. Now they went to Missouri. So, okay. So Iowa has flying funeral directors. Is that true?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Up there. It's not even April Fool's yet, and she's already coming up with stuff. Okay, let me go over to the next question here. Let me go back to the screen here. There we go. All right. And Leslie says hello to William. Okay, thank you for joining us. Okay, now, what's your go-to icebreaker when meeting a new business owner or a client? I know you're doing your shows and all that, very popular. Where would you go and where would you start? Let's say you're in a store location in person, an event. What would you do? What would be a icebreaker that Anthony would do?
In my opinion, the best thing you can do to start any conversation, whether it's with a business owner or just person, just ask them about themselves. I take a lot of stock in the book How to Win Friends and Influence People, and if you just go out of your way to be friendly and ask intriguing questions and what that person does and who they are, eventually they'll get back to asking you. Right, and then they'll actually give you the time of day and listen to you. If you're basically just using kind of like an opening line that typically works, you might talk to them for 5 minutes and they'll forget you about as quickly. So yeah, I think, and that's the show and everything, and like as well, the best way to make a friend and to really stand out is to give somebody space to actually talk, get past their 2 or 3 minute elevator pitch, get them into more uncharted territory where they can actually speak more freely. They tend to appreciate that. So that's always my advice: is don't really have an icebreaker, just be authentic and ask them who they are.
Amazing, amazing. I'm going to ask you what is an unusual story or situation when you met somebody. Before that, I'm going to talk to Don. I'll have you think about that. We have Jay in here. Hello, folks. Working in Georgia at the moment. They love the gas station pizza, like I did here in the South. So that's amazing. All right. Yes, I will definitely take that. And Leslie says, dated a pilot from Iowa when I was a stewardess, and his dad did this, and so did he. Amazing, amazing. All right. Anthony, do you remember the question?
Yeah. An interesting, like an anecdote for meeting somebody. I think the craziest one, one of the most recent ones that was also interesting, is a few years ago. I was just tailgating up at Iowa State, and the person that parked next to us, I was running the Blackstone, making smash burgers for everybody, and the person next to us was a CFO of a company here in Iowa as well. We just kind of hit it off talking about the Blackstone, and then kind of went by the wayside, lost contact for a while, and then just, I don't know, or three. I'm sorry.
Blackstone? What is the Blackstone?
Oh, it's a big griddle, right? So when you go when you go to do a cookout, instead of like a barbecue, it's a griddle, so you can make burgers and all that kind of stuff. So that's just a brand.
Got you.
So yeah, we were just chit chatting about that. He was helping his daughter at the tailgate sell Girl Scout cookies, which I thought was brilliant. Taking into a bunch of people drinking outside, you're going to do well. But no, and then a couple weeks ago, I connected with him on LinkedIn. I was looking to connect with more people that does what he does in the fractional CFO space. And I was like, you know what? When we actually sat down to have a beer, I was like, I know you. We've met before. And it took a while to catch on, and then we were able to go back. So just being friendly with no agenda. It's kind of crazy how things turn around and you make connections that, reconnect later. We weren't able to work together then, but it looks like we have a lot of similarities and commonalities now where we might be able to. So that was a really neat one.
So you said you knew him. What was the time frame that you met him from when you saw him again? Is that, or was it something that you see? Oh, I know this guy before, but you haven't actually seen him.
Yeah, it's been, I don't know, 2 or 3 years when I first met him at the tailgate. And then just like I said, within the last month, I connected with him on LinkedIn, not knowing who he was. I was just looking for fractional CFOs to connect with that were local and everywhere. And then we went and had a beer. And after talking to him, he started telling me his story. I was like, this sounds familiar. Right? And I was like, I met you before. And that all came rushing back. So it was fun. It was a really interesting conversation. And you never know the trajectory of what a relationship's going to look like. I met him at a tailgate of all places. And then we didn't talk for 3 years, and then we kind of bump into each other again, and now we have these commonalities. So
that happens sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. So always be friendly, always be interested in people, and things kind of happen. Really hard to plan that kind of stuff.
Amazing. To go back to Leslie here, love this about Anthony, helping farmers and business owners uncover hidden savings and connecting with the right partners to grow smarter. Amazing, amazing. Yeah, Anthony's an amazing guy. Connect with him, and I think you're looking for more people to be on your show, right? Right, Anthony?
I'm just looking to meet more cool people, regardless of the show or just to know.
Amazing. And she says here, William is saying hi to Leslie, and then she's mentioning smash burgers. Oh, do you guys have any burgers there? Can you buy burgers from a gas station as well, or no? Or that's
I mean, it's not as common as pizza, but
oh,
when
wow.
you own a Blackstone, you have to make smash burgers. It's one of the best ways to have a burger, in my opinion. Really stands out. If you do it right, you'll never want a different kind.
That's amazing. I mean, I recall when we drove when I was younger, we would stop. They had Pizza Hut actually, and we would get the personal pan pizza, and it's still my favorite every once in a while. It's not that healthy now as you get older, but I mean, I remember those, and it's still. We had those buckets. I'm not sure if you remember in
Hmm.
school. We had buckets, right? If you read, you would get those. So amazing, amazing. And then, hey man, all right. From he's saying hello to Jay. Okay, let's go on to the next question here. We go here. Okay, a couple more here. Okay, what title would you choose for a memoir recounting your life up to this point? So, if you had to write a book or a movie, what would it be? What would Anthony
Oh,
be? I
I
think it
don't.
would be I know a guy, but what would you say?
It might be I know a guy, but if it's a memoir, it would be get to know a guy, probably, right? A little bit more
Yeah,
past tense. So, yeah, probably something like that. There's plenty of wordplay in there, so there's something clever if I thought about it.
absolutely. And then the last question is all getting to know you, who you really are. So we'll get into that more in details. But that's interesting, and then we'll get to talk about your show as well. And we'll leave the last 10 minutes to that here. Okay, almost there. Okay, how did you come up with the green color in your logo of I know a guy? I mean, it's a nice color, lime color with a dark in the back there, and you have it in your background. How did you come up with that?
Green's my favorite color, and it was just kind of one of those things where you were, designing your brand Bible, and it says, "Oh, pick some colors that can be consistent." And I was like, I like green, right? So, and I always find it like a calming, color. So I figure if I'm going to be interviewing people, a lot of people are new to it. They're not used to it. So if I can add any kind of calming, even if it's just in your head, any kind of calming to that process, why not? So kind of just worked out that way. And like I said, I like green. So I don't wear it very often though, because then I'll blend in.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's an amazing story. You just all of a sudden you're like green, let me use it, and it worked out for you. A lot of people don't know what to use. Sometimes your favorite color works, right?
Yeah.
I
It
had a
worked.
background before, and then I decided, no, maybe not use a background. Let me use something natural and normal. So I keep changing up a bit, see what people think, and it makes it more interesting. You don't get that fuzzy thing like you do in the back there on yours, but
Yeah.
that makes it more natural. But also, you can get your brand out there, you know. So that's very, very amazing, and that's awesome. Leslie says she loves personal pan pizzas. Tell us your favorite topping on that. All right, Leslie, tell us. Thank you for the audience. Okay, let's go to the next question here. Okay, who was the big motivation for you to start your show? We can, I guess, go back to who made you start the show. Were there any TV shows you watched? Is there something in particular, The Tonight Show or whatever? And then how you got to who motivated you?
I don't know if there was any like actual like person I was trying to emulate. It just kind of seemed like a natural extension to what I was already doing. I think probably the people that were helping me network the most was Phil, the connector Harrington. I was a part of his community, and then Rudy Gargioni. He kept just making great introductions with a lot of awesome people, and I was having conversations every single day with people. Doing anything and everything out there. A lot of cool people doing cool things. And I was just trying to add value to everybody that I met. And one of the things that I knew that I wanted to do was meet more people and try and do it at scale. And the only way that you can do that is by, talking to more than one person at a time. You can have one-on-ones all day, every day, or you can get on somebody's show once a month and reach more people. Right. So I knew everybody wanted to do that. And I wanted to be able to add value to everybody that I was having a conversation with, regardless of whether or not we ever worked together in any capacity. And it just seemed like a natural way of saying, okay, we're going to have that first natural meeting, that level of questions that you would have when you first meet somebody. And we're just going to record it and share it. Right. People out there, they want to talk about who they are and what they do, and they're doing cool things. And if I can help facilitate introductions and, more people out there know me, like me, trust me, and know what I do, the more likely I am to help my business. So it just seemed like a mutual benefit to something I was already doing. I was already having the meeting. So why not record them and share them?
Absolutely. Have you started? So most of your meetings were online during COVID time, or you started them like recent?
Uh, It was probably at the end of COVID when I started doing more of the virtual networking. I was still working a lot of in person in COVID. My career path and what I was doing kind of shifted at the end, and that is what led it to more of a networking mindset. But I still split my time between in person and virtual. So both.
Yeah, that's amazing. So you worked in person during COVID, like you were part
Yeah,
time.
I was doing a lot of meetings in person, and it would be, sitting on the tailgate of the truck, or I'd bring a chair in the back of the truck and I talk to somebody through their screen door or whatever it was. So I did a lot of that.
Amazing. That's awesome. Leslie got back with us here. Pepperoni. If others are involved, add black olives and anchovies. I never tried anchovies, but black olives. How about you? What is your topping?
I'm pretty particular for pepperoni onion if we're going like low toppings. Otherwise, I'm a big fan of like a Supreme, or if we're ordering from a gas station, a taco or a breakfast pizza. Right?
Oh, that's amazing. I can never picture in that you can order a Supreme or anything from a gas station. I mean, well, you can. Anthony's telling us you can. That's amazing.
You can, and it's worth doing too.
That's amazing. Nice here. Yeah, awesome. I'm sure they have hot dogs too, right?
No, there's not like hot dog rollers or anything like that. They have, some of them have like sub stations where you can make a sub, but they're really known for their pizza.
Amazing. Yeah, type the name in there for me in the chat box, and I can put it in there.
Yeah.
You said
It's just Casey's.
Casey's. Okay, that's easy. With a K or a C. Yeah.
CASEYS.
Okay, I'll put it in here. And then it just goes. Is it Casey's gas station or
Casey's General Store? But you type in Casey's Pizza, you're going to see all of it. So.
Okay. So if you're in, are they everywhere, or it's only in Iowa?
No, they're in the Midwest. They're, I think their headquarters is here in Iowa, but they're in Illinois. I believe they're in Missouri. They're in Nebraska. It's a Midwest, but like I said, it's only Midwest, and they're tied for 5th for the largest pizza chain. I think they're tied with Papa John's, so that's how big they are.
Oh wow, okay. And William also gave us his sausage, pepperoni, extra cheese, and green pepper and onions. You always have to have the veggies; they're healthy. Awesome. Okay, a couple more questions before we end it here. Okay. This is asked by 58 people before you. If Anthony were to create a product or a concept to help humanity, what would it be? What would Anthony want to create?
I think it's kind of, not to be self-serving, but I think it's kind of what I'm trying to create now. Just a way for small business owners and people to connect with other people and be efficient with it, right? We're all trying to grow our circle of people that we can work with, that can work back with us. And we're trying to make it rewarding on all sides, whether you're a person that was a guest, a person that subscribes and just watches, or, future guests, former guests, just trying to make value for everybody, because I don't know who needs to meet whom. I'm just trying to have as many great conversations with as many great people as possible and let them sort it out on the other end to where there's benefit for everybody involved, because that's one of the things we do right now. We spend a lot of time and a lot of money networking, but a lot of it can be more efficient, right? How many one-on-ones can you have every day before it starts cutting into the parts of your job that you should probably be focusing on more? So trying to do that, trying to help people grow in their business, create relationships with other people doing the same. So that, just trying to help people meet other people.
Amazing. Awesome. And then the final question here, you can go into detail. Tell us about you. Who is Anthony? What is Anthony about? And you can start from wherever you think is right. And we can get into more about your business as well.
Yeah. Just a guy in the Midwest, played college football, decided I didn't want to do that for the rest of my life, thought about going into the medical field, went and got my EMT, didn't like working in the hospital, decided to do something else, did a lot of jobs in the blue collar industry before finally setting out on my own, becoming self-employed about 8 years ago. Did a lot of different things before I landed where I am now. So I really focus on a couple things on my business side, and then adding this to what I do, meeting a lot of awesome people, trying to help as many people as I can, be of value to as many people as I can. It's a Zig Ziglar. Help enough people get what they want, you get what you want. Karma, the golden rule, the reap what you sow, the go-giver, the law of reciprocity, the you can't outgive God, whatever terminology you want to put to it, trying to put that into my business because we keep defining it. It's the same thing, but we keep defining it differently. So there's got to be some truth to it. So really leaning into that direction to help as many people as I can, knowing that it'll come back and help me in the long run. So that's me, I guess, at my core. What I'm trying to do, whether I'm, creating strategic partnerships, finding people that I'll never work with, but maybe I can help introduce to somebody else. That's what I do day in and day out. And that's what I plan on doing for the rest of my life.
Amazing. I'd like to also mention that I appreciate you in the beginning when you were showing me your website that you did a beehive, right? And so you were patient enough to meet with me a couple of times to get a handle of it. And so very awesome. How did you get the name I Know a Guy? Where did that come from?
So I don't know. It's serendipitous, and a couple things have happened that made me go, yeah, I think it was supposed to be that way. I had it about a year before I did this, right? And I wasn't using it for anything, and I was like, yeah, I'll figure out what I want to do. And then when I had the concept of trying to help people, it kind of made sense. It's a common term that people hear all day, every day. I live in the Midwest. Everybody's a guy. If you're on the West Coast, everybody's a dude. So if I lived over there, it might be I know a dude, but no, here in the Midwest, it's hey guys. So it kind of happened. I've met some awesome people that they resonate with that, right? They're the I Know a Guy guys, right? It's by no means my invention. It's a very common cliche saying, but it's been brought to my attention. There's something called ikigai out there, which is a Japanese a term about, and it's very similar to IKAG. That kind of means you're in the right spot. So if you look that up, it's kind of serendipitous, but happy accident, long story short.
Well,
It almost looks like ikigai.
Yeah. Does he saying that? It almost looks like, oh yeah, amazing. What year was that when you started it, Anthony? When you
my first episode was October 1st of 2024.
Oh, okay, October. Okay, so over a year almost. That's amazing.
Just over a year.
Oh, that's recent. Okay, I mean, and then you've done so many episodes. How many episodes have you done so far? Over 200, you said?
I've released about 260. So
that's amazing. That's awesome. I mean, I'm barely getting to the 60s with this one. I've done episodes for the Zoom party and all that, which we were on. But that's amazing to do all that, and it's people are eager, right? They're eager to come on the show. In the beginning, when you were doing the show, was it hard to get guests on your show, or they were like, "Oh, I want to be on. I love it. I love the show. I love the idea."
Honestly, the problem has been slowing it down, right? Because if it's kind of a go-to joke of mine, but if you ask people to talk about themselves, everybody's hand's going to go up, right? We all want to. If you're in business and you're not, trying to talk about yourself, nobody else is going to, so you have to. So it's trying to slow it down to the point where it's manageable. It was the hard part. It was never the trouble finding guests. It's always the, hey, I need to, portion what I can do on a day-to-day basis, and that's why it started 7 days a week, and I've been tapering it down to be more effective, more beneficial, but also more manageable.
Amazing. As you said, there's no accident or coincidence. We don't know yet how powerful we are. Amazing. Yeah, that's awesome that people are interested in coming in there and raising their hand and all that. So where can people connect with you? I know I have it here on LinkedIn and also on YouTube right there. I Know a Guy, plus there's what do they call that? The dash at the bottom? The little line at the bottom behind Guy.
Oh, underscore. Yeah.
Underscore. So why did you add the underscore? Did it make it more unique?
No, somebody else said I know a guy. So I had to do it. I had to add something.
Oh man, that's awesome. So that's, yep. So how can people find you? YouTube, LinkedIn, and that's pretty much right.
The two easiest places are LinkedIn, if you want to connect with me, or just my website, ikag.me. It'll take you to the newsletter. It has all my socials everywhere. So that's the easiest place.
That's awesome. Everybody should have that, something like that. It makes it easy. And then you have it there. I don't need to type it. I don't need to put it up. It's right there. Point to it one more time for people. There it is. Right there, right behind. Amazing how he did it right away there. He knows where it is and he can see it. So, Anthony, thank you so much for being on the program. Your closing thoughts. We learned a lot about you. College football. Wow. I have to ask you that before we close.
Yeah.
Tell me about college football.
I tell people I was a free safety, but if you meet me in person, I'm a liar, and I was obviously an offensive lineman. I'm in a lot of people's phones as Sasquatch's cousin. So yeah, that's what I resemble. So yeah, a lot of fun, a lot of work.
Amazing. That was for Iowa, right?
No, I actually played in Illinois.
Oh, Illinois. Gotcha. Yeah. Your closing thoughts, Anthony. Appreciate you being on the program.
No, thanks for having me. I always enjoy our conversations. We've met, I don't know, probably half a dozen times by now, and
Yes,
it's always been fun. Really enjoy everything you're doing. You're helping a lot of people, and anything that I can do to help support you or other people with the same mentality, that's what I'm here to do. So
amazing, amazing. Right when I met with you and I told you I want to be here, we actually booked this months ago, right? And then you're like, I'll put it on the calendar. How's your calendar? Is it full today, or you're pretty?
no, today's fairly open.
So, okay, got it. So that's good. You book your book with him, connect with him. You're always looking for people to meet and connect with, maybe new people on your show as well. And amazing guy. And then look for him on Liberty as well. The new episodes will be airing hopefully this week if my guy can do it correctly. And thank you so much. I'm going to play the outro. Before that, there's one more comment from Jay here. If you don't self-promote, how can you promote others? Kind of like if a tree falls in the forest and none is around, does it make a sound, right? So exactly. Nobody will hear that. So thank you so much. I'm going to play the outro. Stick around for me for a second here. Thank you for Leslie. Thank you for Jay. Thank you for William. And I think that was it. And people who will be watching in the future, stay tuned for more episodes. Next week, we'll be back we are in the 60s. Not the temperature, maybe where it is where you are, but we'll be in episode number 60, and possibly we'll be having a special guest as well. So we might have 2 guests for this year, and we'll continue season 4 in January. We're already booked for new people and amazing. Anthony, stick around as I play the outro. See you in a bit.